Today, I want to talk about something that many people are feeling, but not everyone understands clearly. Something that quietly affects our daily life, our money, our future, and even our confidence. The US dollar. You may have heard people saying the dollar is very strong now, the rupee is falling, everything is becoming expensive. But what does this really mean? Why is the dollar so strong right now? And why should normal people like us even care? Today, I want to explain this slowly, in simple English, like we are just sitting and talking, without fear, without complicated words. First, let us understand one basic thing. What is the US dollar? The US dollar is not just America's money. It is the most powerful currency in the world. Many countries use the dollar for trade. Oil is priced in dollars. Big international deals happen in dollars. When countries save money, they often save it in dollars. So when the dollar becomes strong, it affects the whole world, not just America. Now, what does strong dollar actually mean? A strong dollar means that $1 can buy more of another country's currency. For example, if earlier $1 was equal to 80 rupees and now it is equal to 85 or 90 rupees, that means the dollar has become stronger. So with $1, you can now buy more things in other countries. This sounds good for Americans, but for many other countries, it creates pressure. Now the big question. Why is the dollar so strong right now? There's not just one reason. There are many small reasons working together. Let me explain them one by one very calmly. One big reason is interest rates in the United States. The U.S. Central Bank, called the Federal Reserve, controls interest rates. When inflation increases, the Federal Reserve increases interest rates to control prices. When interest rates in the U.S. go up, something interesting happens. Investors from all over the world want to keep their money in the U.S. because higher interest rates mean they can earn more profit. So money starts flowing into America. People buy dollars. Demand for dollars increases, and when demand increases, the dollar becomes stronger. This is one major reason. Another reason is global uncertainty. Look around the world. There are wars, conflicts, political tension, economic problems. When the world feels unsafe, investors look for a safe place to keep their money. And for many people, the US dollar feels safe. So when there is fear in the world, people buy dollars. Again, demand increases. Again, the dollar becomes stronger. Now let us talk about something very important for us in India: trade. India imports many things: oil, gas, technology, machines, electronics, and most of these are paid for in dollars. So when the dollar becomes stronger, India has to pay more rupees to buy the same things. That is why petrol prices increase. That is why transport becomes expensive. That is why daily goods slowly become costly. People feel this in their pocket, even if they don't understand the reason. Now think about a simple example. Imagine you want to buy a phone from another country. Earlier, $1 was cheaper. Now the dollar is expensive, so the phone costs more rupees. The company increases the price and you pay more. This is how a strong dollar affects daily life. Another reason for a strong dollar is the strength of the U.S. economy. Compared to many other countries, the U.S. economy is doing relatively better. More jobs, more consumption, stronger companies. When an economy looks strong, people trust its currency. Trust is very powerful in money matters. The more people trust the dollar, the stronger it becomes. Now let us talk about something emotional. Why does this situation create stress for normal people? Because salaries don't increase quickly, but prices do. When imports become expensive, companies spend more. Sometimes they cut costs. Sometimes they delay hiring. Sometimes they reduce growth, and people feel insecure. Students worry about studying abroad.
Because fees are in dollars. Travel becomes expensive. Online subscriptions become costly. Even simple things like software tools feel heavy on the pocket. So when people hear the dollar is very strong, they feel anxious. But here is something important. A strong dollar is not good for everyone. Not even for America always. When the dollar becomes too strong, US exports become expensive. Other countries buy less from America. This can slow down growth. So even the US has to be careful. Now let me say something very important. This situation is not permanent. Currencies go up, currencies go down. This is a cycle. Many times in history, the dollar became strong, then weak, then strong again. So panic is not the solution. Understanding is the solution. Now let me connect this topic to English learning because that is why you are here. When you understand world news in English, something powerful happens. You stop feeling small. You stop feeling lost. You start feeling aware. You don't need to be an economist. You don't need complex words. You just need clarity. That is why listening to news explanations in simple English is so powerful. Now let us talk about one more thing. How does a strong dollar affect jobs? When companies spend more on imports, their costs increase. Some companies slow down hiring. Some freeze salaries. At the same time, export-based companies may earn more because they get paid in dollars. So effects are mixed. This is why the economy is never black or white, it is always gray. Now let me talk to you directly. If you are feeling worried about money, about the future, about prices rising, you are not alone. These feelings are shared by millions. But fear should not stop learning. In times like this, skills matter more than ever. Communication matters, English matters, understanding matters. When you can understand global topics, you become more confident. You can talk, you can explain, you can participate in conversations. This itself is a skill. Now think about this. The dollar is strong today. Tomorrow it may not be. But your skills, your communication, your confidence, these stay with you. So instead of worrying daily about exchange rates, focus on growth. Use this time to learn, listen, understand, improve. Because the world will always change, money will always move, currencies will rise and fall. But people who understand the world always stay one step ahead. Now let me say this very calmly. A strong dollar is a global story, not a personal failure. Prices rising is not because you did something wrong. It is part of a larger system. Understanding this reduces stress. And understanding English gives you access to this understanding. So don't feel scared when you hear big words. Don't feel ashamed if you don't know something. Learning starts with curiosity, not confidence. Today you learned why the dollar is strong. Tomorrow you will understand another topic. Slowly, step by step, you grow. Now I want to ask you something. Did this explanation help you understand the dollar better? Did you feel calm while listening? Write your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more calm, simple explanations about world news, money and life, subscribe to the channel, like the video and press the bell icon. Because learning English is not just about speaking, it is about understanding the world.